How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid, which was down almost 1% on the day. But I want to send you guys out the reminder. If you haven't downloaded the 5 best strategies to trade options like a pro, I highly suggest you download it. You can find it in the first link for the comments and as well as inside the description. So as far as for Lucid is concerned, so we had a catalyst that ended up coming out today. I'll talk about that later. And as far as for the price action in this volatile week that we have coming, I want to make sure you're prepared. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch its full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $18.96, being down 0.99%. On the low, it tested $18.64, and then on the high, testing $19.40. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 12.45 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 18.06 million shares. So we have below average volume on the day, and we also seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 49.94. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day. We're also below the 50-day, but we did finish above the 21-day EMA. It is at $18.82, and we close at $18.96. And if you guys remember, I was talking about how key it is for Lucid to stay above this level. So what we have going on right now is some consolidation, but we have a continuation of the 50-day moving average serving as resistance for Lucid. So that's why it is very important that we have some price action above this level. Currently, it's at $19.97. So of course, we want some price action above $20. We know this is a psychological area for the play. The moment we can break above $20, I want to see a move to see if we can get past $20.61, and then essentially you want to see it get to $22.50 for a strong reversal, and then seeing if it can start to trend up from there. Again, that is a bullish case scenario. The bearish case, if it decides to break through the 21-day EMA, it did test a low at $18.64. So if it was going to break through this level, of course you'd want to see support coming in at $18 and as well as $17.50. Again, not much has changed, but it gives you a good idea of what the price action looks like to the downside and as well as for the upside. And like I said, if it decides to consolidate, it has to be around that 21-day EMA. Let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for Lucid. The off-exchange short volume ratio is at 52.10%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 3.29 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 200,000, updated 2 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 11.75%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the third, it was at 62.32, and then for the close of the sixth being at 52.10. So that is a significant decrease right there, but taking a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 24.25%, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see on the inflow, it was at 35.46 million, and then on the outflow is at 48.02 million. So we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 21.29 million, and then on the small it was 14.17 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 2.93 million, on the medium it was 29.24 million, and then on the small it was was 15.85 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, June the 7th, we had an outflow of 2.93 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, you could see that we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 0.75%. So we are continuing to see it decrease, and this is what you want to see. There's not as many traders going in and out of this play. And as for all of my investors out there, you want to see this, especially when it comes to a stock that you're holding for the long term. Now let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, before we start talking about the price action, let's talk about the recent catalyst that came out today. So Lucid has opened up a financing deal with Bank of America, and I feel this is a very great idea. Their cars are fairly expensive, and considering the economic conditions that we are in, the fact that you can actually go on a payment plan is definitely a good look and will entice more consumers wanting to purchase their vehicles. This also keeps the demand up, because we know the more money that comes into this company, especially since it is a new growth company, then we know it's going to benefit shareholders in the long run, because it will be shown on those earning reports. So overall, in general, this is definitely a good look for Lucid, and for all of my investors out there, that's something that you should be proud of as well. You want to make sure, especially with the current conditions that we are in, the companies that you invest in, they are continuing to move forward. They're continuing to reach their goals. They're trying to find ways to expand and make sure that they're maximizing their growth, because we know, as far as for the valuation of the play, it is fairly overvalued, and they definitely have a lot to prove, and they need to grow into that valuation as well. Now let's talk about the price action. So the high of the day ended up getting to $19.40. And if you guys remember, I said that $20 is a psychological area for this play. And right now, that's right where we have the 50-day moving average. So we need to be able to break above this level. The more Lucid continues to get rejected under $20, it's going to continue to have some pressure, and we could see some more downside in the play. But one thing to pay attention to, we are still having price action above the 21-day EMA. Currently, it is around $18.82 or $18.81, and we closed above this level. So we could say right now at the moment, it is just consolidating. But you really want to keep an eye on these areas, because if it does decide to break through the 21-day EMA, it can get down to testing $18. And if it breaks to $18, it can get down to $17.50. And of course, I'd have to do another video for you guys to tell you where it could go from there, or what that price action is actually looking like. But at least you know what it looks like to the upside, and as well as for the downside. So again, you want Lucid to get to $20. If it could do it this week, it would set itself up very well going into next week. But we also can't forget the fact we have CPI data that's going to be coming out on Friday. And depending on how those results turn out, it will have an impact on the market as a whole. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. Many shorts who are vested in this play. No surprises whatsoever, considering the volatility we have inside of these markets. So that is why, if you've been watching my videos, you should be well prepared for this. And then taking a look at that order flow, we did see there was a good amount of selling, but the fact that the turnover ratio is continuing to come down, it just shows us there's still many who are holding on to their positions. So if you are an investor, continue to do your homework, do your research, and just make sure, if you are going to be vested in this play, and if it is going to pull back, that you be down to load up on the dip. If you're not going to be confident enough to do that, then you shouldn't be in the play whatsoever. I'm not giving you guys financial advice, but I just feel like if you're going to be investing for the long term, you should have high conviction. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said in the beginning, don't forget to download that cheat sheet, the 5 strategies to trade options like a pro. I'll be talking to you guys real soon.